I cannot even hint what it was like, for it was a compound of all that is unclean, uncanny, unwelcome, abnormal, and detestable. It was the ghoulish shade of decay, antiquity, and desolation, the putrid, dripping eidolon of unwholesome revelation, the awful bearing of that which the merciful earth should always hide. God knows it was not of this world, or no longer of this world. Yet, to my horror, I saw it in its eaten away and bone revealing outlines, a leering, abhorrent travesty on the human shape, and its moldy, disintegrating apparel, an unspeakable quality that chilled me even more. Again, this book with just
with the death,
with the banger insult you can throw at your enemy. Let's see. Yeah.
unclean, uncanny, unwelcome, abnormal, and detestable.
You can throw you can throw the series just to bring someone down. You are unclean, uncanny, unwelcome, abnormal, and detestable. And you can also use the other one, right? Unwholesome revelation.
Oh my god, I love this one so much.
This book is bangers, dude. Like again, it's just bangers after bangers after bangers for dissing someone. It's amazing.
And
Oh,
what else?
this one is good. This one is good.
Abhorrent
Abhorrent
travesty.
travesty on the human shape.
If you want,
Ooh, this is good.
if you hate someone and you want to body shame them, use that.
That's the thing. It doesn't have to be body shaming someone. It's just a good insult to throw at someone you hate. You're an
You're,
abhorrent travesty on the human shape. It's such a good line to just throw at someone if you befit them. All right, let's move on to the next paragraph. Let's see.
I'm keeping all those insults for later.
Of course, it's this is the perfect book. Again, folks at home, if you're in need of great insult that's not racist or anything, at this point of the recording, The Outsider is a good book for it.
How to insult no one. Alternate title.
Yes. How to diss someone. Step one, read Outsider by H.P. Lovecraft. Yes. All right. Let's move on to the next paragraph. I was almost paralyzed, but not too much, so to make a feeble effort toward flight. A backward stumble which failed to break the spell in which the nameless, voiceless monster held me. My eyes bewitched by the glassy orbs, which stared loathsomely into them, refused to close, though they were mercifully blurred and showed the terrible object. But indistinctly after the first shock, I tried to raise my hand to shut out the sight. Yet, so stunned were my nerves that my arm could not fully obey my will. The attempt, however, was enough to disturb my balance, so that I had to stagger forward several steps to avoid falling. As I did so, I became suddenly and agonizingly aware of the nearness of the carrion thing, whose hideous hollow breathing I half fancied I could hear. Nearly mad, I found myself yet able to throw out hand to ward off the voided apparition which pressed so close. When in one cataclysmic second of cosmic nightmarishness and hellish accident, my finger touched the rotting outstretched paw of the monster beneath the golden arch. The golden arch? McDonald? Ayo. Tap,
So
pap,
this
pap, pap.
whole
No,
love.
I'm joking.
So does this mean this whole thing happened at McDonald's?
Imagine.
Imagine.
Imagine this actual whole thing just happened at McDonald's at the middle of the road somewhere no one knows. Imagine it
Okay,
actually
but
happened. I don't know. I don't think so.
okay, but when he said like golden arch, is it like those door without door, or it's like a mirror?
Mm, I'm not sure. It's probably a door. Yes, it's probably like a door or something that just you can stretch or something like a doorway that the hand stretch out.
Hmm.
Do we have a new insult here? Let's see.
Hideous hollow breathing.
That's good work. That's good work.
That could work someday. Someday.
Mm, I think yeah, but yeah. Oh my, the golden arch just like it's so synonymous with McDonald nowadays. Like, I think that's because I am a fat ass, but, because I'm a dumpy fat ass. But it's still like I mean, to be honest, that's the average McDonald customer looking like this, looking whatever this guy and thing is. This guy is using. Isn't it?
The nightmare they stuff behind the
Yes.
pantry.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, whatever this guy sees like a corpse, like a living corpse, a zombie, I guess.
Maybe undead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's continue reading. I did not shriek, but all the fiendish ghouls that ride the night wind shrieked for me, as in the same second there crashed down upon my mind a single and fleeting avalanche of soul annihilating memory. I knew in that second all that had been. I remembered beyond the frightful castle and trees. I recognized the altered edifice in which I now stood. I recognized, most terrible of all, the unholy abomination that stood leering before me as I withdrew my solid finger from its own. But in the cosmos there is balm as well as bitterness, and that balm is Nephante. In the supreme horror of that second, I forgot what had horrified me, and the burst of black memory vanished in a chaos of echoing images. In a dream, I fled from that haunted and accursed pile, and ran swiftly and silently in the moonlight. When I returned to the churchyard place of marble and went down the step, I found the stone trapdoor immovable. But I was not sorry, for I had hit the antique castle and the trees. Now I ride with the mocking and friendly ghouls on the night wind, and play by day among the catacomb of Neferenka, in the sealed and unknown valley of Hadov by the Nile. I know that light is not for me, save that of the moon over the rock tomb of Neb, nor any gaiety save the unnamed feast of Nitocris, beneath the great pyramid. Yet in my new wildness and freedom I almost welcome the bitterness of alienage. For although Nefertiti have calmed me, For although Nefertiti has calmed me, I know always that I am an outsider, a stranger in this century, and among those who are still men. This I have known ever since I stretched out my finger to the abomination within that great gilded frame. Stretch out my fingers and touch a cold, unyielding surface of polished glass.
Oh, he sees himself.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just like so. This is the reason why people are running. This is people's reason why like. Oh, okay. So the golden arch you're talking about is the mirror, the edge of the mirror.
Ah,
That makes sense.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no way it's McDonald's anyway.
I mean, just imagine though. Imagine McDonald in 1927. The
And then
obesity,
this,
the obesity rate of America would rise up very fast. Obesity,
yeah.
yeah.
So he's a monster,
He's the
but
monster.
he's
That's
not.
why. That's why. Yeah, he's a monster. He's the guru. He's the guru.
He's the ghoul, but he's not aware that he's the ghoul.
Yeah. Oh, so remember when we just like the cries were shocking from that paragraph? He's talking about like, oh, I let that presence in Hinomacha beyond the golden arched doorway, right? That's not a
Yeah,
doorway. That's a mirror.
that's a mirror. And you're seeing yourself.
Yes. What I don't understand is how does he run backward and I mean I guess he just did he run because how the hell does his reflection run after him? This is what I say when this is what I feel when I say this book is one masterfully written on one end and sometimes a bit I don't know. I think it's because of our English is not clear, right? Our English is not our first language. But
Yeah.
I don't understand the physics. How this guy just kind of like right start running, not people toward flight, yeah, and he start running, and the creature chase him. He's still think. I think it's because it's like we are from first point of view, and this guy is panicked. I guess that he think the creature is chasing him. I think that's the way to do it.
I mean, if you run from a mirror, I mean, the mirror follows your movement. It might,
Yes,
in
but
its
if you
eyes,
run from the mirror, anything from the mirror will appear further. Have you seen yourself in the mirror when you go closer and go further from it? It's like anything in the mirror just goes smaller.
I mean, yeah. Well, I try not to look in the mirror every day. Every day. I think we have to reread that part to understand
Yeah, we.
what happened.
So I think the way he said it is like this guy is like this. Whoever our narrator is just start one running. No, not running. He saw him. He saw this golden arch doorway, which is a mirror that he doesn't understand. When he starts seeing that, he start like you know how people who's afraid doesn't immediately run but fall back and start pushing away, right? You know that? Then you go
Yeah.
fall down and you cannot even run. You're freeze in fear and then start like kicking the ground, trying to get away, right?
Well,
I think that's the best way to describe his situation. When he meet himself in the mirror. And yes,
okay.
so when he touched finger, that's the first hint. That's the first hint where it's not it's not that it is himself when he touched finger. Like when he stretched out his arm, he touched finger with the creature.
Yeah. The ET finger touch.
Yeah, he touched finger with the monster, and he's not. And at that moment, he remembered like, oh God, it's not this thing. It's not something else. It's just me. That's why when he said, I remember beyond blah blah blah, he started remembering stuff. Yes, affluence of soul annihilating memory. Right on the versatile, yes, and start running back. Yeah, so at one point in that panic, his brain just kinda shut it off and then he start forgetting this ever happened except that is a mirror. Yeah, so when Nephante is like this referring here is like legendary drug of forgetfulness. But I think in that he made him forget the panic. That sudden click on his brain made him forget the panic, become calm again, but at the same time he still remember that it's a mirror. I don't understand why at one point in the paragraph Lovecraft starts shouting out names of like shouting out name of like Egyptian royalty or something.
Nepranka Nitokris. Who is that?
Okay, Neferka is not an actual pharaoh. It's a pharaoh mentioned by Lovecraft in his other novel. So it's like a cross reference kind of thing that you do. And yeah, Hedorf is also like another name that's made up. But Nitocris is an actual name.
Last queen of the sixth dynasty of ancient Egypt.
That's a funny thing. I don't think he's a fan of ancient Egypt. I think he just think like, oh yeah, of course it's gonna be scary. It's ancient Egypt. They're not me. They're not white. Of course they're gonna have mysticism and stuff that scares you. You know, ghoul and stuff. You know, because they are not me. They are not white. That yeah, it's kind of poetic at the end. He starts saying like, yeah, so he stopped running and just starts going back to his place. But he remember one thing that is actually polished glass that he looking through, which is he is the guru. Interesting
Hmm.
stuff. Interesting stuff.
Wait, I was arranging a sentence in my head.
Hmm?
Ah, an introvert finally seeing himself in the mirror after all these years.
Yep, that's basically it. That's basically it. Yep.
Is this is this a representation of someone like with a no life?
It's not a representation of someone with no life. To be honest, let me just reread the first part of the book, which is like this book. The book I own right now has annotation from like who's annotating this? Leslie S. Klinger, which said like mayhap one of the most analyzed story of H. Lovecraft. It's considered biographical and psychoanalytic, or as a depiction of homosexual panic, blah blah blah, stuff like that. But I think I don't. It's the thing about Lovecraft. I don't think as much as people love his work and try to analyze it that deep, you know, I don't think he is that deep. I love his work. Don't get me wrong. I love his work, but at the same time, sometimes his work is just is because is. You get what I mean? Like we are gonna get to Cold Air one day, but not next book because we're not doing Lovecraft next book. I don't know what we're doing next book.
Let's take a break from Lovecraft.
Let's take a break from Lovecraft. Yeah, let's take a break from Lovecraft.
Let's read something else.
Yeah, but uh, there is this Lovecraft book that I love, which is called Air, which is basically H.P. Lovecraft being afraid of air
Of
conditioning.
air conditioner.
Yeah, of air conditioning. Yes, and sometimes
Remember you told me about that.
yeah. That's why I feel like sometimes Lovecraft work is just is. There's no like deeper psychoanalytic stuff. He just want to tell a story of like from the point of view of the monster and what the monster probably be thinking. Which is again masterfully written when it's like the monster doesn't know what the mirror is and he says it's a doorway. Book's great. I love it. I don't think there is like a deeper expression of philosophy or homosexual panic in here. But I love this book. Just like my only complaint is that he start wrapping around Egyptian name at the end, which is so weird to me. That's just one part of it. That just when I first read this, it just sent me to a spiral. Like, what the hell is this last part? Why is it start? Why is it start like wrapping Egyptian's name that have nothing to do from the start of the book? Like, is it not so weird? You know, like out of nowhere we're start talking about Egypt, right? Is it not weird to you? I think it's weird.
I mean, I want to say that it's weird, but I have a feeling that it might just be what's it called in English? And I forgot what it's called in Indonesian too. Uh,
Amazing.
oh no, I'm bilingual.
Yeah, you'll find a word. I just feel it's like kind of weird when it's just suddenly on the few last part of the book it stopped wrapping around Egyptian's name. Also, to you, just from two books, we already know how Lovecraft read his book. At the very like few paragraph at the end, he started wrapping shit. He started ramping shit up, right?
Yeah, I
It's always
noticed
like
that
that. It's
from
always like
the
that.
from the three books that we have read.
Two books on YouTube, by the way. The third book we
The third book we did.
we haven't read it on recording yet. So, but we'll take a rest from Lovecraft for next week. But yeah,
And find other fun stuff to read.
yeah, find stuff to read. Mm. Yeah, I love this book. This book, rereading it again, just like, oh, this is fun. This is one of my favorite Lovecraft book because it's like the first person view of the monster. You don't really get that often. And also, it's a great book if you want to start collecting insult word for your enemy.
Reading this book, we're just collecting some insults.
Oh, I'm highlighting every single one of those just to use it. Yeah, but yeah, hey, that's it. That's the Outsider by H.P. Lovecraft. Okay, tell me in the comment. Have you ever see yourself in the mirror and said, "Damn, that's me," or anything like that? But you
Don't
tell
call
me.
me out.
Tell us in the comment. Have you ever see yourself in the mirror and said, "Gee, that's me"? Well, anyway,
Yikes.
yeah, yikes, that's me. But anyway, hope you enjoy the video and when it's come out. And always do the usual YouTube stuff. Subscribe, comment,
Leave a like.
leave a like. Yes, leave a like. Comment. Tell us what's your favorite insult word from The Outsider. And that's it. Bye.
Bye.